Hello, greetings. Welcome back to my channel. This is just a short video about a historical point regarding the Jehovah's Witnesses and the International Bible Students Association. Last time I made a video, it was my first and the only video I have up so far about the Jehovah's Witnesses. And as you know, this is a channel about the history and beliefs of the various religious and spiritual movements over time. I try to give a basic picture of each faith. And when I did the Jehovah's Witnesses, I gave some of their history as presented in various encyclopedias and things that I have read in the past about the witnesses. And one of the comments questioned their history and said that the International Bible Students, who also follow Pastor Charles Taze Russell, disagree with that history. I found that intriguing, and I want to give you the result of my research on that. First of all, let me tell you that in the description box, I'll put the link to the Jehovah's Witnesses site, that's jw.org, and the International Bible Students site, which is internationalbiblestudents.com. And under the Bible Students, you'll find their history tab. They have an article. Pastor Russell founded the Bible Students, not the Jehovah's Witnesses. And you might want to read this article. This is their contention about the history of who founded the Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm just going to read a couple of quotes from this, and it makes their position pretty clear. I will say that I did go to the Jehovah's Witness site, and there is no history, no chronological history on their official site. So anything about their history is found in previous publications of the Watchtower Society. Well, we know that Pastor Charles Taze Russell founded what was called the Bible Students. The movement had its beginning in 1878 in Allegheny, Pennsylvania, where a newly formed Bible class selected Mr. Russell as its pastor. And at the same time, there were other earnest Christians forming Bible classes for in-depth Bible study. Now, Pastor Russell became a leader of thought and activity among these congregations. In 1879, Zion's Watchtower was formed, later known as the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. And this is not to be confused with Jehovah's Witnesses. This was way back in the days of the beginnings of the Bible Students. This society did not become the central authority of the Bible student movement. It could not, because all the cooperating congregations of Bible students held strictly to congregational self-government. The Watchtower Bible and Tract Society was basically a publishing house and a lecture bureau that constantly employed Bible lecturers who traveled through the Western Hemisphere and some outside to the far reaches of the world. Now, after the death of Pastor Russell, that was in 1916, the purpose of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society changed drastically under the leadership of Joseph Rutherford, whom Pastor Russell had recently dismissed from his staff. he seized legal control of the Watchtower. He dismissed, according to the Bible students, a majority of the board of directors, and he established dictatorial authority. And the Watchtower became the central head and authority over all the congregations who were willing to yield their sovereignty. The basic doctrines of the new society seriously digressed from the teachings of Pastor Russell as the writings of Pastor Russell were gradually discarded. The methods of conducting the evangelical or the evangelistic, I guess you would say, work were altered, and the more sensational digressions, such as refusing blood transfusions or saluting the flag or not celebrating holidays, caught the public's eye. Now, as early as 1917, just a year after Rutherford took over, the exodus of newly declared sovereign headquarters began. And by 1918, 1/4 of the Bible students had left Judge Rutherford. Now, at the time, and currently, there have been many books written about the Watchtower organization. One famous one was written by William Schnell, a former Rutherford worker. He wrote 30 Years a Watchtower Slave. And in this, he said, between 1925 and 1931, Rutherford embarked on a campaign to purge Russell's followers. By 1931, over 3/4 of those formerly associated with the Bible student movement in Pastor Russell's day remained faithful to his teachings by completely separating from Rutherford. And now that 3/4 of the Bible students from Pastor Russell's era were purged, and the few remaining had submitted to Judge Rutherford's changes, a new movement could be founded. So in 1931, 15 years after Charles Taze Russell's death, Jehovah's Witnesses were founded. Its founder presented a resolution entitled A New Name, which was adapted at a convention on July 26, 1931. The resolution observed that neither Russellites nor Bible students were any longer appropriate names, certainly since 75% of those original students were gone, and henceforth they would be called Jehovah's Witnesses. So, the International Bible Students Association thinks the facts are clear. Pastor Russell founded the Bible Students in 1870. Judge Rutherford founded the Jehovah's Witnesses in 1931. Russell's Bible Students and Rutherford's Jehovah's Witnesses are two separate and distinct movements. Now, they give a really good analogy, a way of looking at this to illustrate their point. They say the Lutherans and the Catholics have a common lineage simply because the Lutherans broke away from the papacy. But they're two separate churches. The Lutherans believe Martin Luther's teachings, and the Catholics believe the teachings of the Pope. And although there are some similarities found in the two religions, no one would say that a Lutheran is a Catholic or a Catholic is a Lutheran. And because the Lutherans' lineage goes back to the Pope, does not mean that the popes were the founders of Lutheranism. The popes were the founders of the Roman Catholics, who believed their doctrines. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of what a kind of history that reoccurred with the Jehovah's Witnesses and the former Bible students. Well, this is just a historical point, and the two groups are functioning separately today. As I said, I put links to both of them, and I just wanted to clarify it, though, and see what you, as students of the history of religions, think about this. Do you think that witnesses may continue to call Charles Taze Russell the founder of their religion or not? Well, let me know what you think. If you like these kinds of videos, please, I invite you to go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see you again real soon. Bye for now.